Hello friends, this is our first technical video on 5 volt DC generation featuring
Hello
Ketan and
everyone.
Rahul.
In the today's session, I'm going to explain you how to generate 5 volt DC supply from 220 volt AC supply that we usually get in our homes. For this, first of all, we require a step down transformer. I'm going to explain you with a simple circuit diagram. This is our step down transformer. Oh well, N1 are the turn ratios of the input side of the transformer and N2 are the turn ratios of output side of transformer. As you all know that the N1 is greater than N2 in the step down transformer. In place of step down transformer, you can use AC adapter also. Its function is same as a step down transformer. In this session, what we are doing, we are converting the 220 volt AC supply into 5 volt DC supply. Why 5 volt DC supply? Because most of the electronic circuits works on 5 volt DC supply. As you can generate 12 volt DC supply also, but I will tell you it later. Here we are getting the 220 volt AC supply, and in the output side of step down transformer, what we are getting 12 volt AC supply. For this we require the step down transformer. All the specifications of the components I will tell you in the end of the video. After this, what we need 5 volt DC supply. For this we require a rectifier. What is the function of rectifier? Rectifier is a device, electronic device, which converts the AC into pulsating DC. As you all know that there are various kinds of rectifiers: full wave rectifier, half wave rectifier, bridge rectifier. In this video, I'm going to explain you with a bridge rectifier. Here the circuit of a bridge rectifier follows. As you all know that I've seen the various videos in which how do they show the diode like this one. This is the representation of a diode, but I'm not explaining you the circuit. I'm just telling you how to generate the 5 volt DC supply. This is my practical approach. I'm going to show you the diode circuit like this one. This is the positive side, this is the negative side. Basically in the practically the diode looks like this. So for how to make the bridge rectifier, we need 4 diodes like this one. This is the P side, this is the N side. This is P side, this is N side. This is P, this is N. This is N, this is P. What you have to do, you have to take the PCB board, in the PCB board what you have to do is just make the connection like this one. Diodes, you have to place your 4 diodes like this one. What you need to remember is that the 2 diodes will look like this one and the rest of the 2 diodes will look like this one. And in the circuit, in the PCB board, make the connection like this one. Solder this end of the diode with this point and this end of the diode with this point. You can solder it. And here what we are doing, we are just whatever the output we are getting from the step down transformer, we need to impose over this connection, and from this to here. All the things we are doing here, we will do it in the PCB board, on the PCB board. Here are the connections, and this is another end of diodes. Over here what you need to do is to make the connections like this one. Solder this portion and this portion. Okay, this is the bridge rectifier, a small circuit of a bridge rectifier. After this, what we are getting at the output side of rectifier, we are getting the pulsating DC. I'm going to explain you with a simple diagram. This is your AC, and after the rectifier we are getting like this one. It is a pulsating DC. You cannot say directly that it is a DC. It is a pulsating DC. It has some ripples of the AC component in the DC part. So this is not your pure DC. To get the pure DC, what we need exactly, we all know that filter. Filter basically removes all the DC components, all the all the AC components. It removes all the AC components and you will get your DC. For this, we are using a capacitor, that is the electrolytic capacitor. What we are using here? Electrolytic capacitor. You need not to worry, guys. In the end of the video, I will give you all the specifications of the components that I am going to use in the video. This is your capacitor. Okay, at the output, this is your capacitor. The connections are like this one. Connect this portion of the capacitor with this, and this portion with this. You have connected this point of capacitor with this point 1, and the other end of the capacitor with this point, that is 2. Okay, this is. Now this is basically as you all know that the capacitor has a positive and the negative terminal. I'm going to tell you how capacitor basically looks like. This is the capacitor, and the bigger one is positive and the smaller one is negative. Okay, this is your positive, this is your negative end. What you need to do is to connect the positive part with the first end. This is your first. You have to connect this portion with the positive end of the capacitor, and the other end with the negative end of the capacitor, or at the point 2. You have made all the connections like this one. After this, our topic is 5 volt DC supply. For this, we are going to use a 7805. What is this 7805? It is a voltage regulator IC. Basically, it is a IC, integrated circuit. It has 3 pins, first, second and third. First one is basically a input pin, in which whatever you are getting the output from the capacitor, you will apply over the 7805. Make the connection, solder the first pin of 7805 to the positive terminal of capacitor. This is your output pin. This is first pin is your input. This is your output, and this one is your ground. You have connected the output of capacitor to the input of 7805, and the ground portion, where will you connect this? You will connect the another end point of the capacitor with the ground. Okay, because as you all know that the current will flow only in the closed circuit. If you will leave this ground portion, how will the current flow in the circuit? This is a closed connection. Okay, up to here we are getting the 12 volt only voltage regulator IC. We have made all the connections. In the output section, what we are getting, that is 5 volt. Okay, 5 volt DC. I would like to give you a small introduction about the voltage regulator IC. 7805 is basically 8 stands for the positive output and 5 stand for you're getting the 5 volt DC. You can get, or the 78112 IC is also available in the market, in which 112 stands for the 12 volt output. Here the output section, in the output section you are getting the 5 volt DC supply. So, but this terminal is open, and how will you get sure that the 5 volt DC supply you are getting? You can connect with a voltmeter so that you can easily measure the 5 volt DC supply. For this, your circuit is working properly, you can connect a LED also. In the LED portion, this is your positive terminal, this is your negative terminal. What you need to do is to connect the positive terminal of LED with the output of 7805, and the negative terminal of LED you have to connect a resistor. Why? Because as you all know that the LED having the cutting voltage near to the 0.7 to 0.8 volt, and the output you are getting from 7805 is that is 5 volt. So you need a voltage drop so that your LED works properly. You have to use a resistor, and as you all know that the resistor has no polarities, positive or negative. They have no polarities. What you have to do is to connect the one end of resistor with the negative portion of LED and another end of resistor with the ground of the 7805. This is your complete circuit. This is a 5 volt DC supply, and you are getting the 5 volt DC output. You motherfucker.
Camera cannot start.
5% battery, you know.
As I told you in the middle of the video that I will tell you all those specifications of the components. Here is a list of the components. First one is your transformer, 220 volt to 12 volt. Second one is NPN diodes. For bridge rectifier you need 4 NPN diodes. Third one is electrolytic capacitor, that is 1000 microfarad of 25 volt. Fourth one is your LED. LED we have used over here just for the indication that your circuit is working. And the fifth one is your resistor, 220 kilo ohm resistor. And in the last one that I have mentioned, 2-pin male connector that you can connect at the input side of a transformer, so that you can connect the 2 wires on the 2-pin male connector and the other end of the wires to your 220 volt switch board. That's all about my video. Thanks all of you guys. Thanks for watching.